In the days since we recorded our Patreon exclusive A New Hope commentary track, we have had quite a bit of fierce debate going on in the Discord channel, probably other places, the behind the scenes of the Zoom call, all those places where we like to talk Legends Look Back. And there's been quite a bit of debate about the big argument that erupted at the end of the Patreon event that we did, in which I correctly asserted that Han, is warming up to Luke when he says, "May the Force be with you." He says like that's, it's like kind of showing us just the glimmer of his goodness. Though he doesn't believe in the Force, he does, however, validate Luke's beliefs, and he thinks Luke is going off to die. Therefore, he says to him, hey, best of luck according to your religion. He adopts his terminology in order to be a friend, and then he splits. Well, since then,
all right, you're nuancing this way more than you did in the original.
So. Well, I've had weeks to think about it. Since then, we have developed a segment that I like to call Rick's Descent into Madness. Rick, tell the good folks what has happened since.
Yes. Well, since the whole world is against me and this minor detail, I've decided that I'm not communicating my point clearly because you're wrong and I'm right. And so I'm going to do my due diligence to make an effort to explain this to you. And so I'm like 2 hours into a project to make I think it's going to be like a 15-minute video breaking down the entire context of A New Hope and Han's interaction with everybody to show that he is, at least his exterior shell, is a hard, sarcastic person. And this scene, the hangar, right before the trench run, the attack on the Death Star on the Yavin base, where Han says, "May the Force be with you." There's a smirk on his face. He's saying it as a sarcastic
comment. He always
comic.
has a smirk on his face.
He does have a smirk on his face, but it's clearly it's very subtle. And if you look at the way that Luke takes it, he does not take it as an endearing, "Thanks, buddy, I appreciate it." He storms off in anger.
He wants Han to come and help him in the battle.
And they've gone back and forth throwing insults. And so Han is throwing this back as a sarcastic jab as his last word in before they walk away. So I'll let my dissertation probably publish it tomorrow on the topic.
We're working on.
This is an exaggeration, right? You don't actually have a 15-minute video.
No, I literally have a 15-minute video that I'm finishing up.
He messaged me and said, "Hey, what do you think we can do with this video? Where's a good place to put it?" And I said, if it's under 90 seconds, we can put it on Twitter. I'm trying to do a little bit more with Twitter promotion these days, trying to see what works. And he said, no. It's going to be 15 minutes.
You're all going to watch it. You're all going to watch it. So
oh my gosh.
The clip of
People
it that I've
put less
seen so
effort
far,
into college classes.
Yeah. Oh no, Rick did too. I can tell you this much: that the 10-15 second clip that I've seen of it so far is spectacular.
So okay, that's actually not part of it, but I might sneak it in at the end or something.
Sneak it in, man. If you don't know what we're talking about, first of all, why aren't you paying us?
Right.
It's for $5 a month. You can get the Patreon exclusive commentary in question. Also, it's fine if you don't. I'm a cheapskate as well. I mean, responsible and frugal. Yeah. See, you can see my collection. You know that's not true. Anyway, just a cheapskate. The fact of the matter is, another great place to catch up on this entire debate would be the Discord channel. And we've got just a wonderful community. I will say, there's plenty of Star Wars Legends places on the internet where it seems like everybody just is miserable. This is not one of those places. We don't allow that. And we've got just some really friendly, lovely folks there.
It's just me that's miserable. That's fine.
Yeah, the truce at Bakura comes up in conversation at least once a month, wouldn't you say, Freddie? Some dinosaur emojis that float around. Freddie's still muted. We'll get him unmuted soon.
Yeah.
One of these days, we'll have a flawless show.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
But we got some great folks there in the Discord. Also, my favorite thing happening in the Discord right now is Rob Neese's read through of the Rogue Squadron books. His first time going back to those in years, and he's giving us like a play-by-play live reaction of his impressions of Corran Horn and all the things he says and does and shouldn't say or do. And it is lovely. It is wonderful, truly heartwarming. If you're having a rough day, jump on over there in the hashtag Lookback Discord channel. Talk to Rob about Core and Horn. It's beautiful. It's wonderful.
Ah, yeah. Yep. What was that?
I would say, Jared, Skooma Joe had a point here. We brought up that comment. Go ahead, Rick. Bring it back up.
Oh, okay.
Is this bigger than the Great Schism?
Hey, I was going to call it that. I
What
was
is that?
saying. I was going to
The
say.
Legends canon split.
You could say that that is it, but the Eastern Orthodox Roman.
Oh,
Throw in
you're
that
talking about
church
real life
history.
church history.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm thinking, is he referring to the Jedi Civil War?
Golly.
I know. I was thinking
That
Star
too,
Wars. It's like
that
which
too.
which one?
I mean, there's a lot of great schisms in this.
No. Seriously, I was going to make a Great Schism joke too, Freddie. So we're synced up. That's
There
funny.
you go.
It's
Because I just came
fantastic.
from Texas. That's why.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The number of things that's funny you say that, Skooma Joe. The number
Golly.
of things that Rick has tried to name something teeny since he joined the team
What have I
is-
done
is
teeny
fantastic.
wise?
I don't
What's
know.
My teeny vocabulary.
Well, you know what else is teeny? Yoda. And that's who we're
Oh.
going to be talking about tonight. I mean, look how teeny. Look at this teeny little Yoda I've got. He's not Baby Yoda. That's different. Different thing entirely. We're going to be talking about everybody's favorite
Ooh.
frog-like Jedi Master in this very special crossover episode of Legends Look Back. We're doing a partnership with our Monday show, The Living Force. And without further ado, we got some fun stuff. We got a giveaway. We got some references. I mean, it's gonna be wonderful. We've got pictures, slideshow even. Rick, let's start the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Legends Look Back, proudly part of the Utini Podcast Network. This is a Star Wars books podcast for people who will absolutely smack your robot with a stick over a granola bar, where we celebrate our rich EU history as well as dive into lesser-known Star Wars classics. I'm your host, Jared Mays. I'm sad that I'm not currently running through the woods with Yoda in the backpack while I jump. But I am joined. In fact, it's remarkable that he's here because he wasn't here and then he was and then he wasn't again. But he's here. That is all the way back from Texas. Freddie C. How are you, Freddie?
I'm doing all right. I went to a place that was the opposite of Yoda. It was big. A lot of big. Portions
Well,
were big.
It's still swampy, right? Like
It was humid for me.
Yeah.
Lots
of humidity.
But yeah, we're talking about Yoda today, and I'm surprised it took this long
Yeah.
to talk about one of the most important characters in Star Wars. What do you think, Jared?
That's right. That's right. 131
too long.
episodes. And we weren't going to do it until Wes, who's also from Texas, so there's that, said, hey, we should do a Yoda Dark Rendezvous hype episode crossover thing. And I said, I don't get it. I don't understand. Are we going to read the book? And he said, no, we're just going to talk about Yoda. And I said, no, we should read the book. And then 2 weeks ago, I messaged him and said, yeah, we haven't read the book. So, however, I do have the book, and I have read the book before. Looking forward to reading it again because Barnes & Noble sent me an email that said that the book is going to be here soon.
See,
Just like all of Freddie's books are about to be all over the floor there.
Just all fell on the
my
Freddie's reaching
Trump Luke Skywalker fell.
Oh no.
reaching for his Yoda Dark Rendezvous. And that is, of course, celebrating the fact that we just had the release of the Essential Legends Collection version of this book on Tuesday. If you're listening to this, when the episode goes live. So very excited to have that. What you get? I'm talking about Yoda. I've got a prop. We're going to do props. Yeah. I've got my my cup topper Yoda. And I was going to drink out of his neck this evening, but I ran out of time.
Ew.
Like a vampire.
Couldn't find the cup or the straw in time, but I thought about like duct taping him to my shoulder
Oh
for the
yeah.
episode or
No,
something.
it just looks like. Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah, it was
They're like
that could work.
like an armpit growth or something. You never know.
no
Possibilities.
on the backpack, where he makes
Oh, it's
that
like
Yeah,
face.
yeah,
Michael
yeah.
Scott when he puts the head.
Yes, that's great.
Love it. Well, we have already descended deep into the madness, but I have not finished yet introducing
Ugh.
the people who help us descend into madness, such as the wonderful and lovely Emily Daybeck. How are you, Emily?
Ooh.
I'm doing well. I spend my days surrounded by little people. So to discover that on our podcast, we are yet again discussing another little person, I just feel like I'm in my element. I love it. I'm here for it.
Absolutely. Now, question for you.
Yes.
Um, you know, your little ones, do they know the difference between Yoda and Baby Yoda? Because mine don't, and it
No.
drives me
Aw.
insane.
My husband still doesn't know, and neither does my father-in-law. In fact, he keeps calling me, asking me about which shows he should watch next. And then it just keeps spiraling into more deep conversations about Star Wars that I did not expect to have with my father-in-law. But here we go. It happened tonight.
Wonderful.
We talked for 15 minutes about how he should cherry pick through the Clone Wars series because otherwise he's
There it is.
not going to understand.
Yeah.
And
Ahsoka. Right.
yeah, or just a lot of it. He started with The Mandalorian, and so it's yeah, it's cool how there's plants growing on it again. It's yeah, well, you could see it at the height of its glory
Sure.
before, and you could
Right.
watch all the way through the Purge. But
Yeah.
you have to. Do we have a watching guide for that? I'm assuming we do. I haven't
Great
checked
question. If it's not Legends, then I don't know. Maybe.
yet. Nice.
I can tell you what we do have, and that is our producer, Rick Grace. How are you, Rick?
Hey, I'm good. I've got a Yoda.
Oh.
This is the Disney Infinity.
Oh,
A
yeah.
cutie
that.
right there.
It's a fun game, dude. I've
That
barely
is.
played it, but there's so much to do.
And
So
by that, you mean so many little figurines to collect.
yeah, that's right. And find at thrift
Yeah.
stores to this day.
Hey, Rick, do
hey.
your kids know the difference between Grogu and Yoda?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Ooh,
Really?
My
good for
wife
you.
does. I'm pretty sure my 3-year-old who can barely talk knows the difference. I'm about 80% sure that she knows. David will actually he's six years old. He will correct people in public about it.
No way, really?
He's adamant and
Oh my gosh, I have a story about that.
yeah.
Finish your thought, and then I just want to add this one story.
One more thing, while it's relevant, you know what else is green? That would be the Dallas Stars, who are currently in Game 4 of the Western Conference Final. This is hockey. They're about to get swept. So if that happens, right now it's 5-2-2. But if they lose, they're out, and I'll switch hats because they don't deserve my support at that point.
But they're in it now.
They're in it now. So while it's relevant, go
That's
Stars.
right.
They're my second team, so I'm ready to focus on number one. Okay, that's all I got. Emily, what you got?
Okay, so I'm in Disney World, right? We're in Animal Kingdom in line for the Yeti ride, the Expedition Everest roller coaster. And
Yes.
I'm with my husband. We're just kind of minding our own business. And I hear this kid in the back mention that there's a Yeti in Star Wars. And his parents are like, there's absolutely not a Yeti in Star Wars. Get out of here. And so they're he's insisting, no, really, I'm not making this up. There's a Yeti. And they keep saying, no, no, no. And finally, I couldn't stand the injustice. And so I turned around and I was like, just so you know, there is 100% a Yeti in Star Wars. It's on the ice planet Hoth. And I explained the whole thing. I was like, I couldn't let that go unsaid. And we Star Wars fans we've got to stick together. I have to defend the innocent here.
Am
I mean, am I right or am I right?
Let me
You're
tell
right.
you the
It's a
old
Yeti.
story of the Star Wars Yeti. I can see
Yeah,
Emily
I
sitting
like-
everyone down.
And I relive this in my head constantly where I'm like, could I have done that better? Because I feel like I could have validated the kid a little bit more. But
You should have gone with the A Knight's Tale. It's called a Lats, hello, and been like, it's called a Wampa, hello. But maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, that's
Oh, man.
fantastic. It's fantastic. Well, you know what else is fantastic? That is this crossover episode. I'm very excited for us to get into it. We've got some wonderful things to talk about tonight. But first, a little bit of housekeeping here. That is, if you're joining us because there's a giveaway and you want to win the book, hang with us. We're going to announce how you can win that book in just a minute. And by that, I mean, I'm still figuring it out. I haven't decided what's going to be the ground rules for the contest. So be thinking about it. It's up in the air right now. It could go any direction. I'm not sure. So, but we are going to give away one copy of the Essential Legends Collection Yoda Dark Rendezvous. And secondly, if you are here, welcome. And we'd love to have you join us next week because we're going to be doing our roundtable of Lost Tribe of the Sith, The Collected Stories by John Jackson Miller. So very excited to actually, reread that because I'm behind.
Yeah.
But That'll be great. And I know I love the stories, so I'm excited to get into those, and I'm sure all of you would as well. I would wager to say it's one of the more underrated Legends
Oh, yeah.
books.
Easily.
Just like Yoda Dark Rendezvous. You see what we did there? Yeah. Okay. A couple of other little fun behind the scenes things. Housekeeping on the Utini side of things. Something magical happened last Sunday night when I was on my lawnmower.
Oh,
And by that, I mean, it happened somewhere else long before then, but I got to listen to it while I was riding my lawnmower on Sunday night. And that is our sister show, the Star Wars Archives, recorded an interview with a Legends author, Patricia A. Jackson, who goes by
That's
Patty.
right.
Didn't know that. And it might just be the greatest podcast episode ever recorded in the history of podcasts.
wow.
That's awesome.
It is spectacular. The amount of incredible things she said on that show that she probably shouldn't have said was just mind-boggling and truly delightful. I had to stop the lawnmower in order to scream about it in the team chat in the Discord channel. And she's joined the Discord. She's active over there in the Star Wars Archives Discord channel. Happy to talk about the episode and her projects. And oh my goodness, is it wonderful. She wrote, I would wager to say the most unhinged legend stories in the history of Star Wars Legends.
Wow.
And that's saying a lot.
Mm-hmm.
In those, like, the Star Wars Adventure Journals, I think was where she first published, and then they're collected in like the those Tales anthology books. There's like the New Republic and the Empire, those in particular. There's one about a Dark Jedi actor. That's the one I'm talking about. Anyway, I could spend the next hour talking about how much I love that interview. You got to go check it out. So that's going to be released to the public, I think, in another week. But for now, it's over there on Patreon. So check that out. What else? I think it's time to talk about the ground rules for this Yoda episode. What do y'all think?
The ground rules?
The ground rules. I think we've got to set ourselves a
There's
rule.
ground rules?
A ground. All right. This is mostly.
I didn't know we had rules.
I think this one mostly needs to be for me and Rick.
Okay.
Let's be honest. I'm worried that doing an episode about Yoda is going to be nothing but us doing Yoda impressions for the next hour. And I'm worried that might not be the audio content everybody's looking for.
I think they might be looking for this entire thing to be spoken as Yoda.
Oh, you know what? It is.
Was that more
Expected.
horse or more Yoda?
Was that the Yoda warm-up?
What was that?
Yoda, you seek Yoda. I don't know. I told
Is
you
that the official Yoda warm-up?
It's your
So
turn.
can we just go and get out of our system now? Then is that what we're saying?
Here, I think we should make a game out of it. I
Okay.
think that we start keeping a tally now that I've already gotten it out of my system, and the person who does it the most has to buy the Essential Legends collection book that we're going to mail in the giveaway. I think they
Jeez.
should have to pony up the price.
Hold on. This is unjust. This is
is
a
unjust.
tax on the poor,
I have
and
brought
I'm the poor.
justice, peace, security to my new empire.
Anyway, it's mostly to say
Around the survivors, a perimeter create.
All right, Rick, do you have a graphic to put one on your
That's
name?
one.
No,
That's one
I don't.
Rick.
Sure don't.
We started the contest right.
I feel like
when
there
Rick
should be a
did that.
loophole, and that's like whoever is universally decided has the best Yoda impression
Ah.
gets to choose who pays.
Yeah.
Yep. I would like to exclude myself from the paying list. So if I just need to leave the show now, I'm good with that.
Anyway, so
not
we
cheap.
don't have to monetize the consequences. Nevertheless, we will all have to pay the consequences. So just a word of warning there about the Yoda impressions. We acknowledged it. We got it out of our system, and we're totally not going to do it anymore. Yeah, there we go. There's our Yoda. Go ahead and show that poster. That's what we're talking about tonight, Rick. We are doing the Yodaverse. That is, what do we call this episode? We called it something else. Stuck something else on the thumbnail just to confuse me. The Yoda
It's like
years.
the Wonder Years. Yeah. there
The
you go.
Yoda years. Show that poster. That's a good one. We're calling
would
this
you
the
do
Yoda years.
If I sing out of tune.
Now sing it in a Yoda voice. It's very, it's similar.
What do you do? I couldn't figure it out on the fly. I gotta think about
it was good. It was. I enjoyed what we got. I did. All right. So let's talk
That
about.
probably means I'm paying.
Let's talk about a couple of Yoda issues here on the legend side of things before we get into the bulk of the episode, which is going to be a game. We're going to make a game out of it. So a couple of things here about Yoda as we get going. This is kind of the big one out of the gate. If you listen to the Monday night on the Living Forest, this is the number one question that I was left with. At the end of the day, how responsible is Yoda for the Sith's rise to power? Like, in your opinion, this might be the next great debate here on Legends Look Back.
Interesting.
How
Yoda
much
is
is
the
Yoda to
sole
blame?
belligerent.
What does that mean?
Yeah, you're gonna need to unpack that, please.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, Yoda is solely at fault for
Solely.
the
Solely.
rise.
Like, he takes all the blame?
He is old. He has carried lessons with him. He is the Jedi Council, basically. Right? I mean, how much influence does Yoda have over every single Jedi? Yoda.
Well, I mean, surely they can make their own decisions to a certain extent, but
Howdy,
wow,
dude.
he's placing all the blame on Yoda. I don't know that I'm going that far with it. Emily, you look flabbergasted. What's your?
That was just a bold
maybe your
stance.
your
Rick, you
screen
seemed like
is
you
just
had
frozen.
something to say.
Yeah.
Is it really? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're stuck in flabbergasted.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That's how flabbergasting Freddy's take is.
Everybody here's Emily flabbergasted. Just gonna.
Is it still frozen?
Yeah, you're still frozen.
Are you? Okay. What do I do?
You might
That's,
restart
that's
your
the
camera.
face of shock. Hold on. Put it
Yeah.
back up there, Rick.
Okay.
Put it back up
No,
there.
don't put it up there anymore.
It's
there
still
it is.
there. Yep.
Okay.
That's the show. That's
Stopping you.
that's the
Cut
All
him
thing.
right.
off.
All right. Okay. So, what I think about Yoda is, yeah, Freddie, I see what you're saying. Like, he is old. He's been there for generations. But so have dozens of other Jedi.
Sure.
Like, I see Mace Windu holding a lot of responsibility, especially, I mean, when it comes to Anakin and Anakin's fall to the Sith. But the Sith plot, just because he's old doesn't mean that he is the only one complicit. He holds a lot of responsibility, but maybe not all of it. So
He's like the CEO of a company. When something happens in the company, you blame the CEO.
but
It's
that
his
even
can't tell-
responsibility.
that's what people do. But is that an accurate form of justice?
So-
Yeah.
No, I don't think anyone can solely be the only fault point, you know?
That's a good point.
Okay, he says Rob Neese, our buddy over here, says Yoda's Padawan was Dooku. Well, what if I told
Yeah.
you Dooku also had a different Jedi Master? So Thane Cerulean would like a word, and you can learn all about it in Yoda Dark Rendezvous. But yeah, he did have some significant influence over Dooku. You're right about that. And in this book, almost ends the Clone Wars by negotiating with Dooku. And then Anakin messes it all up. So there's that. Anyway, it's a great book. Yeah, I think that the prequels change my perspective on Yoda and you know his relationship to Palpatine and Vader. Though I'm not going to place all the blame on him like Freddy, but a significant portion. And that's what I love about the prequels. It changes the way you watch the original films, and I do love the lesson. It's probably my favorite line in the entire original trilogy. The lesson that Yoda learns from the Clone Wars. When Luke comes to him, I'm about to start crying. I mean, I love this stuff. When Luke comes to him and he says, "I thought you were a great warrior," and not some old wise frog who's making me stoop. And he says, "Wars not make one great." That
Oh, yeah.
single...
not make one great.
All right, Freddie's buying the book. That's that one line to me carries so much weight after watching the prequels and the Clone Wars.
Yep.
Yeah, he learned at least that lesson.
Here's the thing,
Oh.
right? I think out of mostly anybody in the Jedi that we've seen to date, right? There's books that will maybe come out that'll change some of this thought, right? But for now, right? What is this? 5/25/2023. I think he learned one of the biggest lessons out of everybody that was involved. And you could kind of see, like, at the end of Revenge of the Sith, like the failure, right? We didn't do our job. We failed. The Jedi failed. And it was part of all of those lessons that they learned. And I mean, there was some. I'm definitely not placing all of the blame on Yoda. Let's be real there.
No, you are. You are.
But it's
I already
about
said it.
80%.
Okay.
But there were a lot of Jedi that we read about, and I think Jared, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's John Jackson Miller that points it out quite often, the flaws of the Jedi, right?
Well, a lot of people do. I don't know where you're going with this.
Well, I mean, Zane, right? I feel like he is more of a true Jedi than what the Jedi Council was. I think that's the kind of person that we needed in Yoda's place to be leading a council. That's what I mean. I think there's not all Jedi were at fault, right? There are some that are better than most, but I think there was a lot of condescension for the Jedi. Like, it was, everyone was kind of, I don't know how to describe it. A lot of books do talk about it, though. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Something I was thinking about. Yoda's probably the only one, though, who is in tune to the stirrings of the Force to even sound the alarm that the Sith are up to something, or that the dark side is brewing.
Sure.
He doesn't do enough, but literally nobody else is. And anytime it's brought up, they're like, "Oh, the Sith have been gone for generations." And so I feel like he's the only one who's even close to prepared. But yeah, he's okay. Yeah. Anyway,
what's the percentage, Rick? Come on, say it.
I'd say he's 49.3%.
Yeah, I might put a 30 to 40% in the sense that Palpatine was just really good at his job. And no matter how great of a Jedi Yoda was, 1,000 years of Sith planning has led to this. And Yoda just so happens to be on the front lines of catching the brunt of the treachery. But he almost puts a stop to it, and then he doesn't. But he kind of does by training Luke, depending on from a certain point of view, of course. Emily, you got a percentage here on how much blame do you think Yoda deserves at the end of the day?
I think probably 30 to 40% sounds about right to me. Because he was not the only voice on the council. There were plenty of learned, aged, experienced Jedi that could have spoken up, and they chose not to. So I think a lot of it was just inaction on the Jedi as a whole to step up and to question the status quo. I think that was the problem. So I guess just the stagnation of curiosity. I think that was what killed the Jedi.
Yeah. That's some great debate. All of this was fresh in my mind right after I watched that Living Force episode Monday night. You know what else was on my mind? A great question that they asked at the beginning of the episode, which was, what is your favorite era of Yoda content? Which Yoda for you is the definitive Yoda? And I wonder if our opinions will differ any from the Legends point of view. A little slightly different perspective than those canon young bloods they've got over there on the Living Force. What's your definitive Yoda? You've of course got prequel era and original trilogy era, Clone Wars era, Tartakovsky Yoda, which is great because he rides that awesome horse.
Yeah.
What's your definitive Lego Yoda? Who knows? I don't know. Which one's your favorite? Your definitive Yoda? You got Catcher's Mitt puppet Yoda. That's probably the only correct answer. Fine, I've answered it for you.
I was going to say that. I was going to say the original.
Tell us what you're talking about, Freddie.
Puppet. The puppet, man. It's I like old Yoda the most, to be honest. Old Yoda is stubborn Yoda for sure. Quite stubborn in his latter years, that's for sure. But that's who Yoda is to me. It is the old wrinkly one when a child gets confused between a Grogu, right? A smaller child, or actually anybody gets confused with Grogu and Yoda. It's like the wrinkly one, the grandpa. That's Yoda. The baby, the smooth smooth faced one. That's Grogu, okay. But I think this is a tough one because now I really like the uh remind me of his name, anime
Tartakovsky.
Yoda. Yeah, Tartakovsky.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
All
go
right.
ahead, Jared, with baseball mitt Yoda. That one's
Yeah,
good too.
let's see this. Rick, I believe we've got a picture queued up. This is amazing, in terms of Star Wars lore, the next generation, they'll never know about this. In the original release of The Phantom Menace, there was a puppet Yoda, an actual physical prop, and it didn't look right. And so George replaced it. He fired Puppet Yoda, and he replaced him with a computer-generated Yoda. In fact, I've got a working hypothesis that Yoda works best. Yeah. Oh, jump scare.
Jump scare.
There he is. Catcher's mitt Yoda jump scare.
Catchers.
Doesn't he look like a leathery baseball mitt?
They tried a little too hard on this one.
Yeah, but I have that toy that you shake him, and it's the question, the Super Miracle
Oh,
Super 8
yeah,
ball.
sure.
Yeah,
I used to have
Yeah.
one of those.
yeah.
And all of the
So-
answers are in like Yoda speak.
Where did that end up? Is it around here somewhere?
It was from Taco Bell or KFC.
Taco,
Pizza
yeah, one
Hut.
of them.
Yeah,
One of them.
back in the day. My local
Yeah.
comic book shop has all those on display, and I just want to buy all the boxes.
Yeah.
We got a great comment here from Skooma Joe in the chat. We know which political party he is. He says, we call that one the Bernie Sanders Yoda.
Okay.
I'm
That
asking
way.
you once again to beware of the Sith.
Asking you once again, I am. All right. There's one for me. Okay. Catcher's mitt
Emily's
Yoda.
dying.
I would
That,
say
that was my favorite.
from a Legends point of view, the fact that Catcher's mitt Yoda was only around for a couple years and then phased out, it's kind of near and dear to my
Yeah.
heart. A nostalgic Yoda for me. I genuinely love him. However, I do think that the CGI looks really good. The CGI
Frank
Yoda.
Oz is my favorite Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Oz is your favorite Yoda. More on the behind the scenes in a minute.
Yeah.
All right, Emily, your turn. Who's your favorite? Which era is your favorite Yoda?
I think I like the Revenge of the Sith Yoda personally. I like seeing his interactions with younglings and like mirroring that with his training of Luke and how he values children. I like that. I don't know if that counts for like what you're looking for, but that's my favorite Yoda. And he doesn't
Yeah.
look as weird. For some reason, all the other ones, he just
Mm.
looks off to me. And for some reason, he makes the most sense in Revenge of the Sith.
Really interesting.
Hey,
I'll
Jared.
have to go back and double check because I don't watch the films very often. So I'll let you know if my view changes.
You like Yoda as a mom, where Yoda's like taking care of all the younglings.
Well, it's his pureness, like the purity in his heart. Like that's the Yoda that he
Mhm.
wants to be. But because of political necessity and because someone needs to lead, he ends up on the council. Maybe that's what he wanted to do. But I think that in his heart, he really likes teaching. And so I like seeing that side of him. He
I
seems
do
most
like
pure.
that side of him. I like it when he teases Obi-Wan. It says he misplaced a planet. How embarrassing!
I do like that part.
It's so good. It's such a bad line, but it's kind of good at the same time. All right, what you got, Freddie?
Labyrinth of Evil. What do you think of that?
What, the book?
Yeah.
Hold on, hold your horse. We'll come back. We're about to do the full list of Legends recommendations.
This is all good stuff. I was just looking through this and I was like, oh my goodness, we've got some Trevor troves. In
Oh
here,
yeah, we do.
guys.
Yeah, we'll talk
That's
about why in a
fantastic.
second. All right,
sorry.
but first, Rick,
I'm just looking at it.
who's your favorite? Freddie's excited.
Oh man.
He's like Luke Skywalker jumping in his X-wing, and Yoda's like, slow down, don't drive too fast.
All right,
well,
let's go.
I think I'd probably say on a serious note, OG, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Yoda. Just because as a kid I was so like curious about Yoda, and that was probably the biggest reveal for me growing up. I knew about Vader. I think my dad spoiled it for me. He does that weirdly. Like you should watch Star Wars. Darth Vader's his dad. And I was like, oh good, thanks. So I didn't know about the Yoda reveal. And so that was a big thing that I was like, oh, no way. And then there's a great meme on the internet about once you're a parent, you really understand Yoda. When Luke asks him so many questions, he just wants to die. And then Yoda just like stops talking
He
and
walks
fades
over.
into
He
the
just
force. Yeah. So I get that. But I will say, honorable mention, not Puppet Yoda.
Puppet.
But,
jump scare once again. Sorry about that.
This one's probably worse. That would be Thumb Wars Yoda.
Oh,
Oh my
yes.
I did not queue up this
Thumb Wars.
image.
Horrific.
I will take none of the blame for this one.
And I love this sequence in Thumb Wars when the camera dramatically, like it's not a zoom, it's a dolly into this Yoda, and he goes, "I am a puppet. The
Yes!
man beneath the
No.
floor controls me."
I've not seen
What?
Thumb Wars.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so good.
I've not seen it, but I might just watch it.
Freddy's gone.
That's fantastic.
Uh,
So Rick's favorite Yoda
uh,
is a meme. That's right. Rick's favorite Yoda
yep,
is a
He's
meme.
very memeable.
that's right.
Now, to your point about the swamp with the original trilogy Yoda, I do think that is where Yoda best fits in terms of like visually in the swamp. I think, the old frogman is designed to be in the swamp. And then they stick him in this bright tower full of shiny things, and he just sticks out like a sore thumb, for lack of a better word. All right. Freddie, you want to talk about the Legends books that Yoda is in. Now, here's the problem with that. George put a moratorium on Yoda stories.
Yes.
And that's why, now that George is over there in retirement, canon has done more with him. There's a Yoda comic, other things. He's in the High Republic. Yeah. But in Legends, there's really not a lot. It's kind of, we're cherry picking. The fact that there's a book with Yoda in the title is remarkable. Honestly, it's the only one with Yoda in the title. It's a great book, but it's largely not about Yoda. It's about like the Padawans and Asajj Ventress and Dooku. It's great for that reason. However, we do have some more books to recommend. Yoda Dark Rendezvous probably being chief among them. But you want to talk about Labyrinth of Evil? Why?
Labyrinth of Evil. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat over here. Lots of stuff going on. This is an active chat right now, guys.
It is. Everybody wants to win that book in the giveaway.
Just we need some of you out there. Some of you audio listeners, get in the chat because everyone's having a great time. I can't stop reading it. It's been a good time over there. Everyone's talking about. Let's see. Put a Skooma Joe. He's always putting gold in there. Let's see. Apparently, Yaddle was created. Let's do that one. That one's
I like
fantastic.
this one. Yeah, I do like this one.
Yeah, let's read some of this.
Apparently,
one
Yaddle
right.
was created because George liked one of the alternate puppets they made for Yoda, where they gave him long flowing hair, LOL, laughing face emoji. I like that we've got the perfect Zoomer lingo combo of LOL and the laughing face emoji. That way you know how funny it is.
That means he's actually laughing. Skooma Joe's actually laughing. LOL just means like a smile.
That's awesome.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, let's talk about some of these things in here because I see there's a handful of Legends recommendations. We've got the first one here, Jared, which you've got tiny green elephant in the room. Yoda.
Yeah, that's right. Yoda Dark Rendezvous is the probably the number one recommendation.
Yeah.
But going down the list of other Legends recommendations that we would make if you want to know more about Yoda.
Oh.
What's that, Rick? What's that mean?
I'm reading your notes about the next big.
Go ahead and tell us.
Yeah.
Take this
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
So, perhaps the most interesting Yoda lore in all of the EU is an Heir to the Empire, which briefly explains why Yoda went to Dagobah. Yoda led a Jedi task force to confront the Dark Jedi crisis on the planet. Bafash. And Bafash, thank you. The group of Bafashi Dark Jedi were responsible for a rampage of terror and destruction throughout the. How many times do you have that word in this, Jared?
This is copy pasted from the book, my man.
All right, okay. Throughout the
I'll be honest.
Bafash system and the entire Sluis sector, the task force was able to stop the insurrection and quell the uprising. Yoda then personally engaged the last of the Bafashi Dark Jedi who survived the Jedi intervention and managed to escape, commandeering George Cardas's smuggler's ship in a duel that lasted a day and a half
What?
before finally defeating him, or so it seemed.
Mhm.
Mortally wounded, the fallen Bafashi Jedi made it to the swamp planet Dagobah, where he died. At the site of the Dark Jedi's death, a dark side nexus was formed, becoming the Dark Side Cave. Yoda went back there after the Jedi purge to mask his light side presence with that of the Dark Side Cave. So it kind of balanced each other out.
Ah.
Meanwhile, Obi-Wan is in Anakin Skywalker's backyard and barely changed his name. So,
Yeah, I added that line.
that was a
yeah,
good line. Good line. So,
appreciate it.
That's a
Appreciate
good
it. I do love that, like, Heir to the Empire is this Thrawn book, and but it's got these little nuggets of lore, which I think
Yeah.
is really what made the book, one that has been so endearing for so long. So one
Got some comics.
Yoda recommendation is read Heir to the Empire, the classic
Mhm.
Legends
Yeah.
seminal novel.
Got some Yoda comics in here. I don't remember ever reading a Yoda comic, Jared.
Yeah, there's
Have
a
you?
few. There's a few really good ones. One that I would recommend is called Jedi Council Acts of War. This actually ties into the Darth Plagueis novel. This is mentioned a bunch of times in Darth Plagueis, the Yin Chori crisis.
mhm.
Here, I believe there's like a faction of people who are worried about the Republic's corruption. I'm trying to remember exactly what happens. And so they try to lead like a movement against the Republic or against the Jedi. And Yoda gets involved in it. Anyway, it's like a lead up to the Phantom Menace. It's really interesting. Definitely recommend that for some Yoda lore. Absolutely. So we've got Dark Rendezvous, Heir to the Empire, the Yoda comics. Emily, pick one of these. Anyone, doesn't have to be the next one. What's a Yoda Legends recommendation you would want to recommend to folks?
What about Jedi Apprentice 07, The Captive Temple? Teams up with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon.
Yeah. It's a fun book where Yoda gets involved in some shenanigans that Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are up to. It's got Catcher's Mitt Yoda's face on the cover, which is probably the best part.
Catcher's Mitt Yoda.
Is there anything with Yaddle in it?
Yeah. The Jedi Quest series. So it's like the sequel series to Jedi Apprentice. In the Jedi Quest series, Yoda and Yaddle, they both get mixed up in Obi-Wan and Anakin's misadventures. There's an ongoing battle against Granta Omega, and I'll say there's something that happens with Yaddle in this series that is it'll blow your mind. And I don't want to spoil it, but it's huge. Way huger than Yoda. Okay. And yeah,
Hey.
put together. If they were standing on each other's shoulders. So there it is. Jump scare.
Oh,
Once
Oh my
again.
jump
goodness.
scare.
That's which one is this? That's from Jedi Apprentice. Yeah.
You
That's
wanna
my
see
favorite
something
Legends cover.
scary?
Yeah, I think it's my favorite Legends cover of all time.
Yeah. It's of all time. Wow.
Yeah, I just love this book. Look at that thing.
I mean,
That's terrible.
It's a perfect book cover, and then they slap Catcher's Mitt Yoda's face on the cover.
You know, this is a run for the money with Ruins of Dantooine, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
maybe. I love the look. Just look at the Star Wars, like the gradient, the embossing. Like they're using all the Photoshop effects available at the time to really nail
yeah.
this, and it shows.
Nice.
Oh yeah. That's a classic one. All right, we've covered
And no
a handful
disrespect
here.
to the cover. It's
No
it's
disrespect.
beautiful. I would
Yes.
never change it.
Never change.
Never.
I do love these books. Like legitimately 100%, no cap, as the kids say.
No cap.
I hate that expression. I wish I hadn't said it. No. Anyway, I love these books. Those Jude Watson novels, they are just spectacular. I mean, maybe some of the best Legends books ever. All right. So, Freddie, you had one that you wanted to draw some attention to, and that's Labyrinth of Evil.
Yeah, I just saw you had Labyrinth of Evil in here. I'll read what you have, right?
Sure.
Labyrinth of Evil. It's largely about the mystery of who is the Sith Lord, manipulating events in the Clone Wars. Jared, talk about Labyrinth of Evil.
This is by James Luceno. It's part of that unofficial Dark Lord trilogy. and you sandwich Revenge of the Sith right in between this one and Dark Lord: The Rise of Darth Vader, and you get this, all the events leading up to and during and then right after Revenge of the Sith, by some of the best authors ever. And this basically, Yoda and Mace, they nearly crack it.
Yeah.
They actually like perform a Jedi SWAT team strike on a red herring on like one of Palpatine's, like his secretary. What's that guy's name? The creepy vampire dude.
Masamita. Oh no.
Anyway, they're like, we did it. We found him out.
Yeah.
And they go over to Palpatine's building, 500 Republica.
That's
They go over
right.
to his house, and they bust down the door, and they arrest the secretary.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
anyway, it's great.
Yep.
There's Commander Cody's in it as well, right? I mean, it's a big
I don't
story.
remember. Yeah.
They I want to say that the events that happen in this book are stemmed from Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. Like there's something that Obi-Wan tells Anakin, I can't remember what it is. And it's basically James Luceno adapted that into the story.
Yeah, it's
So,
awesome. There's
yeah.
the that business on Cato Nemoidia.
Yeah,
It's about that, which they just rewrote in canon. So go back and read this to see who did it better. It was Legends, but the canon book is also really good. It's really good.
Yeah.
No, not trying to pick favorites, but I've got a favorite. This is actually probably, in many people's opinion, one of the top 10 best Legends books ever written. Which
It's
leads
one of my favorites.
Oh, it is,
which one I'm talking about now?
Labyrinth of Evil,
Okay. Yeah.
and it leads right into the Revenge of the Sith novelization. Emily, if you like Yoda, why should you read Revenge of the Sith?
Well, there's lots of reasons to read Revenge of the Sith. Number one, it completely redeems the movie, which had some holes. And it just nicely covers over all of that and gives all the backstory, which I really appreciated. It's just a really good book. Like if you've never seen the films, I would still recommend the book. Yeah, it just kind of gives context for this whole series. Yes,
It really
Rick.
does.
Great
You have your
comment
hands hand raised?
what you got?
I got issues. You got them
Uh-oh.
too. Okay.
Issues?
Yeah. Yeah. So first of all, Revenge of the Sith is a great movie, and there are no issues. No kidding. It has got some issues, but yeah, Revenge of the Sith I think might be my favorite Star Wars book of all time so far.
Same.
And definitely. If there are any issues in the movie, they're fixed in the book. Plus the levels of intricacy and relationships
Mhm.
in that book. You can't get into a character's head in a movie like you can a book. And so I cried in that book like multiple points in it, and it's great. So I just want to
It
say a
is
few more
moving.
words because it's a powerful book. Powerful.
Yeah.
Something else is somebody has something powerful to say. The courtship of Princess Leia, Jared.
Yeah.
You've got a lot in
It's a
here
big one.
about that.
Yeah, I don't
What did
remember
you
if I
find?
copy pasted this or if I wrote it myself, but I would actually like to recommend at least, maybe not the entire book, but at least this little tidbit. There's some interesting information revealed about Yoda in the courtship of Princess Leia, which I actually had Skooma Joe, our unofficial research assistant, jump on some Yoda research. I was like, why were people not allowed to write about Yoda? And we found out from Tom Dupree, who was one of the editors at Bantam in the 90s. He wanted to write a Yoda book, wanted to commission an author to do one, and George said no. He wanted to keep Yoda a mystery, which is amazing. So that's why there really isn't a lot, which is why we have to really pick and choose and hunt for stuff. And here's one of the little nuggets that they tried to sneak in there, that Yoda was one of the Jedi who led the mobile academy aboard the ship Chunthor. And after crash landing on the planet Dathomir, ever heard of it? Around 230 BBY, Yoda and the other Jedi fought the famed witches of Dathomir. They came to a stalemate. He agreed to leave the ship's data tapes. And although he had left no means of reading the tapes, they were bestowed to Rel of the Singing Mountain clan, which if this sounds like nonsense, it all makes sense in the book. All right. It's Legends of Dathomir.
That's a Dathomiri like witch tribe, right?
Yeah, the good ones. The good ones.
Yeah,
He leaves the tapes, and Yoda foresaw that a Jedi would come to save the planet from darkness, and the information would be safely shared with the witches. And that finally happened in the book with Luke Skywalker when he found his way to Dathomir and kicked some serious Night Sister butt. Yeah. So just a few more little recommendations here on the kind of obscure, the Trevor Trove side of things. One is The Jedi Path. Have you all ever read this? The reference book?
I haven't read this.
I have it. Haven't read it.
Well, it's great because it's like a Jedi training manual, collects a bunch of different sources. And Yoda at one point had it, and it's like annotated by him, and he writes in the margins. And so this book has like handwritten stuff by Yoda, air quotes, which is really
so
cool.
Yeah.
It's really neat.
I remember
And
that.
we actually have a glimpse of Yoda's handwriting and his signature, which if we can get Rick to put the book down, he can possibly show you all. It might be a great time to read the book, like after the show, for example. There it is. Look at that scribbly little signature.
That's kind of
It's
cool.
not bad. I like it.
It's kind of got
I
the
like it
Disney
too.
D going on there, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
A little bit.
I bet Yoda's dyslexic and his name's Doya.
Well, all right. If you go and do some behind-the-scenes research on Yoda, you want to know everything there is to know about Yoda, you're going to come across a character and one little factoid that is often misconstrued and spun into something that it really isn't. And that is the truth about Yoda's Jedi Master. Have y'all ever heard about this?
Ooh, no.
Nope.
Freddie, I actually think we've got a picture of this character, Rick, when you get a chance. We're talking about a character named Nakata Del Gormo.
Ah.
Tell the folks about Nakata Del
What?
Gormo.
Yeah. This is a Trevor-esque recommendation.
That's right, it is.
All right. This is from Design an Alien from Star Wars Galaxy Magazine 9. It's about Nakata Del Gormo. It almost sounds Italian. This is the Italian worm Jedi. Nakata Del Gormo, an in-universe legend about Yoda's Jedi Master. Okay, he is what is this? Hissalarian?
Yeah, I mean, that's
A
the whole
full-
point of this. It's a contest that somebody had to design an alien, and this is what they came up with.
Okay. So this is the alien. It's Hissalarian, a 4-limbed serpentine Jedi who crafted a staff imbued with a large crystal at its summit, created by Chuck Hamilton in 1996. It tells of the legend of how Nakata discovered young Yoda. Baby
Yeah, so it's like
Yoda.
it's like how he found Yoda. But here's the thing: if you see somewhere on the internet like 7 facts you never knew about Yoda, and it says this was his Jedi Master, there's a huge asterisk on this because it's an in-universe legend. This is not considered canon even in Legends. Okay, this is something that people have heard. It's what they might say.
Hissalarian.
Yeah, he's pretty funny looking. Maybe even hilarious looking.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, for that, Rick, you get to read the last one.
Okay.
You get to buy all of the books for everybody in the chat. Just kidding.
All of the Essential Legends books.
Let's see. One more recommendation from our good friend Trevor. Another Trevor Trove is from Yoda Uncovered, which is a comic story featured in the 8th issue of Star Wars Comic Magazine, released in July of 2014. The story focuses on Yoda going undercover. Any guesses?
In his underpants.
Nope. Undercover as and I'm free!
Okay, all right.
Yoda going undercover as a Jawa to investigate separatist plans on Tatooine.
I don't know if that's Legends, but there's no way that's canon either. So we're gonna at least give it a little shout out.
That should be a T-shirt. I'm not sure if that's canon, but
I'm not sure if that's Legends, but it's definitely not canon.
Canon. Yeah.
Yoda Uncovered. Who signed off on that?
And even the name and the whole underpants thing, like that might be actually something that the people want to know more about.
Spanish version might be like Yoda desnudo.
Love it. All right, let's get into the game before we run out of time. We've got a fun game that we're going to play here. This is a Jeopardy-style game where you're taking the idea of the last game that we played and we're making it better because that was a mess.
Mm.
All right. So I've got all the questions and categories here. We've got a little Jeopardy board. Rick, do you have a way to cross these off as we go? If not, I can keep up with it on my end.
Nope, no way.
Okay, I'll cross them off on my end. I've got the behind the scenes questions that they haven't seen. And we're gonna you got instead of $100 whatever like they have in Jeopardy, just 1 point questions all the way down to 5 point questions. There are 5 categories. We'll do what we have time for. Okay, and the categories are thus: origins, quotes, portrayal, miscellaneous, and seagulls. Okay, these are the 4 categories, the 5 categories tonight, and you each get to choose your category and your level of question. And I have exactly 25 with a couple of bonus questions that are written out here that you can all choose from. So now we'll say to the chat as you play along, give us like a 5 to 8 second window before you put your answers, so that our good hosts don't get it spoiled. And of course, before the episode is over, if you would like a chance to win the Essential Legends Collection version of Yoda Dark Rendezvous, just throw some sort of a comment in the chat tonight. We're tallying up who all has commented, and you'll be entered in a chance to win. From there, we'll call out your name at the end of the episode. You'll send me a message in Discord, and we'll get that book in the mail to you. All right, who is going to start us off? Emily, based off of your reaction of terror when we started this game, you get to pick first.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go seagulls for 5, Jared.
Yeah!
Oh, you're swinging big.
Oh, I was gonna do that one too. Good job,
Seagulls
Emily.
Going for it.
So
I'm
you
pulling
must
a
have watched
Freddy.
this. I take it you've watched Seagulls a lot, Emily?
I have no idea what that means. Is that okay? I feel like I made a mistake.
I'll tell you after you get your question.
Okay, I missed something here.
Okay.
Okay.
What would Yoda have been able to do if he had Luke's giant feet? What
Oh man,
would Yoda have been able to do if he had Luke's giant feet?
can I call a friend? Because I'm pretty sure either my wife or my kid knows this one.
It's
Are
fine
you
with me.
serious?
Yeah, you can call a lifeline. Why not?
Emily,
But it's not
I'm
your
in the
turn.
same boat as you, I think, right now.
What is happening right now?
I am so
Yeah,
confused.
I know this, but I don't remember it.
Emily, you have 5 seconds remaining. What would Yoda have been able to do if he had Luke's giant feet? 5, 4.
Walk the
3.
way of the.
The correct answer is outrun those birds. He would have been able to
Outrun
outrun those birds.
What?
What?
Jared, category.
That's
Every
okay.
time,
So there's
every time.
there's a YouTube video. We'll share it when this is over. It's very popular,
Mhm.
very fast, very dangerous. The video is called "Bad Lip Reading: The Empire Strikes Back." It is
Oh
all of
my
the Luke
gosh.
and Yoda Dagobah scenes mixed to a song called "Seagulls." And so if you don't know what we're talking about, you will before this night is over. But you did not get those points. So
No, I did not. All
Rick?
right, moving right along.
you're up next.
All right, let's keep the fun going. Let's bring it back to seagulls for 4.
No way.
He just wants to keep going with seagulls. All right. Seagulls for 4, Rick. This is what did Yoda get? Hold on. I've got autocorrect has made this really weird. Okay, here we go. What did Yoda get hit in the neck with, according to seagulls? Don't you Google this. Don't you? You're
I'm
Googling
not.
it.
My hands are clear.
Okay.
I'm just staring off to the middle distance.
What did
Was
he get hit in the neck with? Or what does he say that Luke could get hit in the neck with? Hit in the neck with a what?
What is a rock, Alex?
Hacky sack is the correct answer.
Oh.
Hacky sack. Golly.
Hit you
I
in the
haven't
neck with a
watched
hacky
this
sack.
in years. Ah, thank you. Yes. Okay. Man, I'm gonna get these
Well,
one of these days.
Yeah, when you get older, you
Hmm.
could get hit by a boulder. That's what I have to say there. All right, Freddie, you're up
When
next.
you get
We
older.
so far have a total of 0 points all around.
I am going to avoid seagulls
Okay.
for now.
That might be
It's
why.
wise. Very wise.
Indeed. Wise you are.
Okay. So let's see. Throw it on the board there, Rick. What do we got left?
Oh, you're right. You might want to see that.
Let's see. We've got
Everything.
portrayal, misc,
That's
Ah.
miscellaneous.
misc. Let's go with
Sounds like a Star Wars planet.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Misc. It does, doesn't it? With a K?
Uh-huh.
Misc?
With the YK, yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
We just
I don't know. Let's go.
we just
with-
made a planet, y'all.
Pick one, Freddy.
This is I don't know what's going on with this game. I am so confused, but I'm gonna go with portrayal 5.
It's Jeopardy. All right. Portrayal for 5. He's swinging big. Here it is. Here's your question. It's not easy.
It's a 5.
We're all gonna have zeros, aren't we?
What was the name of the Yoda parody character in the 1987 cult classic
Oh.
Spaceballs?
Oh man.
Ah.
So far, we've had
Yogurt?
3 questions, and none of them have anything to do with Star Wars. Okay. So, Freddie, your answer is what?
It's not Pizza the Hut.
Uh-huh.
I think I heard you say it, and I talked over you.
Yogurt.
Yogurt is correct. 5 points for Freddie.
Oh my gosh. Why does
Yogurt.
Freddie always win?
Uh-oh. Freddie, congratulations. You have uncovered one of our bonus questions tonight
Oh my god.
for an addial 5 points.
10,000 points.
For an additional 5 points, who is the actor who portrays said character in Spaceballs?
Oh, okay.
Is
Okay.
it hold on.
Why did Rick boo that question?
I thought you were gonna say who played Yoda in like Star Wars, like who is the puppeteer. I was like, come on.
Oh, this is a difficult question. All right. If anybody in the chat knows this, I'll be impressed. All right. I'll be impressed. This is
it the
probably
guy?
the toughest question of the entire night.
Is
Is
it the
it-
guy?
Is it
Yeah.
Mel?
Mel who?
Man, hold on. I don't know why I can't remember his full name right now. I was
Can
just
I
watching.
steal?
No,
Can't
you can't.
steal, but I'm
Mel-
interested to know if you
Mel
know
Brooks.
it. Mel Brooks. That's right. Mel Brooks. Did you read Rob's comment?
No. I've just watched all of his stuff,
Yeah,
including
he's-
the shakiest hand.
Freddie's up 10 points.
He
10
made
Oh my
Spaceballs.
gosh.
It was
Yeah.
it's Mel
yeah,
Brooks.
he did.
Mel
He
Brooks,
did
yeah.
make. Yeah.
10-0, Freddie, after round 1. Emily,
I-
you're up for round 2. Let's go
Oh.
with just three,
Well,
a
Freddie had
handful-
some
oh,
camera trouble, so let's
Oh,
move along.
no.
Sorry,
Goodbye.
Freddie.
I love it. Emily, you're up.
Okay. All right. Let's do quotes for 5.
Quotes for 5. All right. Quotes for 5. Here's your question. What does Yoda say Luke should do with what he has learned? And this is a question that relates to The Empire Strikes Back, not to The Last Jedi, because we're a legend show.
Okay.
Oh,
What should Luke do with what he has learned?
I need
Dang
like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music. That stuff was intense.
Silence is even scarier.
Okay. Is it unlearn?
That is correct. He should unlearn what he has
Ooh.
learned. Emily is now
Yay!
a 5-point contestant. Wonderful.
Very
So
nice.
Freddie is up 5, and Rick is going next.
All right.
Rick has 0 points so far. Rick,
Yep.
what's your category?
Oh, okay. I will do portrayal for 1.
Portrayal for what? He just wants to get on the board. You can't.
I
blame him for
need to
that.
get on the board.
Wants to
I
get
am
on the board. Oh, and we're supposed
not
to
a
do,
loser.
where you get to keep going if you get it right, but we're not. That's not the way we're doing
Okay.
it. All right.
Yep.
Who voiced Yoda in The Empire Strikes Back?
Frank Oz.
Correct. That is correct. Good
Okay, I was
job.
overthinking it, so I was like, just go with it.
You've been doing his voice
Good job,
all
Rick.
night.
Yeah.
All night. Okay. And Freddie, back to you.
Let's do quotes 4.
Quotes for 4 for Freddie. And by the way, keep track of your own points because we're not doing the point tally because of time and graphics. All right. What is the reason Yoda gives for why Luke failed to lift the X-Wing? What is the reason Yoda gives for why Luke failed to lift the X-Wing?
So hold on. I've got a lot of things in my head. There's size matter not.
It's a tricky question, I'll admit.
Yeah.
It's kind of got a
Luminous
of a-
beings are we? Not this crude matter.
That's pretty good, Freddie. It's pretty
That
good.
was
Yeah,
good.
this question's got a wrinkle of a trick question to it. I'll say
Yeah,
that
there's a
much.
trick in here. This is a 4. This is like a
Yeah.
This is a 5, man.
It's close to
see
5.
here.
It's 4.
I'm not entirely sure.
'Kay.
I'm trying to. I can remember everything that's happening there. He's talking about. Of course, Luke goes, "Try."
No. Try not.
Right?
Do.
And then he lifts
do
the
not.
X-wing,
There is no try.
and then what? After da 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 da, the X-wing comes up, and Luke says, "What?"
Wow!
Nope. You did say something a minute ago, though. So is it you lock something in as a final answer?
I don't know.
Okay, Freddie gives up. The quote is, and this is what I was going to accept as the correct answer, though it's a little bit tricky, is Luke says, "I don't believe it. I don't believe it." He doesn't
Oh.
believe.
Don't believe it.
He doesn't believe. He doesn't believe Yoda about size matters not.
Hmm.
So I might have accepted size matters not if you'd have locked it in, but you didn't. So
All right.
0 points. Next up, let's do one more round here for the sake of time. One more round. Can anybody beat Freddie? Emily, pick a category.
Okay. Let's do origins for the highest category available. Is it 5? 4?
Okay. Yeah, it is. Let's look and see here. Origins. I'm finding it. It's in my list. Origins. Oh, this is tough. Okay. 5 points. Who voiced Yoda in the National Public Radio drama of The Empire Strikes Back? Who?
Jared, I have
voiced
not a freaking clue. I'm not even going to
Yoda?
pretend like I know that. Does anybody else know?
1 second.
Rick's got a
Rick?
manual.
Do you really?
Maybe. This is the what is this? I
Jared,
think the
repeat the question.
radio.
Yeah, who
Or
voiced Yoda in the NPR
turn.
radio drama?
There's an NPR radio drama?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic. It's great.
It's classic.
I've got the
Yeah.
link. I'll send it to you.
No idea.
It is none other than John Lithgow.
Nope.
John Lithgow stars in all sorts of comedy stuff, even to this day. He's in pretty much every sitcom imaginable.
Hmm.
John
Interesting.
Lithgow. Yep. And he was Yoda, but you didn't know that, but now you do. Congratulations. Rick, you are up next.
All right,
Oh,
give me
John Lithgow, of course.
highest available quotes, please.
Highest available quotes is 4 points. In what literary medium is Yoda blue? Wait, that's
Oh,
not
gosh.
that's the wrong category. That was origins. Quotes.
Okay.
Did you
It's
know the
like-
answer to that one?
I was gonna guess the Tartakovsky Clone Wars, but
No,
No,
that's
okay.
wrong. Okay,
the,
but that wasn't your
novelization.
question. The
Novelization.
Empire Strikes Back novelization,
Give me
also
some
the
points.
comic,
Oh yes, that's
the
right,
Marvel
that's right.
comic, Utini Academy. You can learn that
That was
one.
20
Okay,
points.
all right. Your question, Rick. Sorry about that. Is this is a 3-pointer in the quotes category?
I thought it was a 4-pointer.
Well, we did the 4-pointer.
Fine.
So we're on the 3-pointer, which is what kind of beings did Yoda say we are?
Luminous.
Luminous beings are we?
That
Well
was
done,
the
Rick.
daily triple, right? That's how that works. That triple
No.
points. So it's 9. So I'm at 10. Good. Okay.
We'll give it to you. All right, Freddie, last round for you, and we'll be done if you can seal the
Ludicrous
deal with a
beings, are
win.
we? Yeah.
Ludicrous.
Ludicrous beings are we? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Luda.
Pick one more to close this out here, Freddie.
All right.
And then
Origins 1.
we're gonna spin the table, spin the wheel on that drawing.
Can we do like
Get us over there.
winner takes all for Seagulls 1?
Okay, I'll do Seagulls 1 because I don't know what Seagulls is, and Rick's gonna take it for sure.
Seagulls
so
is fun.
let's
I'll
just
give
go
you.
with it.
I'll give you
I feel
your
like Rick
origin.
is the most knowledgeable about this category as a whole, and it's just happened to got the wrong questions. Like he knows all the
Yeah.
other answers.
Yeah,
You
that
know?
that's fantastic. Okay,
Emily and I are like,
you're gonna like this question, Freddie. This one's a good one. I'm proud of it, to be honest. / I hope people have stopped watching by now. The question is this: what does Yoda tell Luke that he should poke him in seagulls? He says, "Poke me in the something," and he stops there.
Patoot.
Poke me in the toot is your answer.
What?
The correct answer is not toot; it is coconut. Poke me in the coconut.
What?
I don't remember
Yeah.
any of these, so
Rick,
Can
to
we
win
do
the
like a
game-
rapid fire with Rick?
yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
As
Rick,
many questions
you-
as possible.
Rick,
you
would
have
you-
5 seconds.
would you like a shot at the bonus question in the seagulls
Sure,
category?
sure, yeah. I'm not doing well on this, but I'll
The
I'll
bonus
definitely-
question for 5 points in the seagulls category is this: sing the chorus.
Of seagulls.
Yeah.
Crap.
I love how you said seagulls. Not seagulls.
Yeah.
Seagulls.
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 Man, I know it. Ah.
This has been a fun
Steven
game.
Seagulls.
Hey, everybody! No matter where you are, if you're driving your car, if you're walking your dog,
Seagulls.
I would encourage you sing this along, and you can get 5 points. Sing us the chorus of seagulls.
Are you gonna go for it, Jared? Give us a taste.
You know.
Is that it? Okay.
There's a little
Is
bit
that all
more
it
to
is?
There's more to it, but I'm getting a little embarrassed.
That's like the musical interlude. I wouldn't say it's the chorus, but I haven't heard
Oh
it
my
in so
gosh.
long.
Get ready
so I
for
could be
another
wrong. All right,
15-minute
yeah,
video.
yeah. Oh gosh.
We'll
John
throw it-
Lithgow approves.
There it is.
Hey.
John Lithgow
Oh, there he
himself.
is.
Oh, that guy. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I know he's exactly that guy, 100%. So if you don't know what
Yeah.
that is, we will throw the link to Seagulls in the Legends Look Back Discord channel after the show. But first, a drawing. Rick, we had some live chatters here tonight. One of them is going to get a copy of Yoda Dark Rendezvous. If you are the winner, it's up to you from here to message me a private message on Discord if you're on Discord, and if not, Twitter will be fine. Your address, your screen name here on YouTube, and we will get this sent over to you as soon as
Yeah.
possible.
Do you like this golden ticket or
It's
like
cool.
just a name? What do you think better?
The golden ticket is
Golden
pretty
ticket.
hype.
Golden
That's pretty
tickle.
cool. I like that.
Golden tickle. All right, we ready? Did I call it
I'm
a
ready.
golden tickle?
You did, yeah.
Okay.
I got the golden tickle.
Somebody must have poked you in the coconut.
There will be no tickling.
Woo!
You are safe.
All
We will
right.
not physically tickle anyone. The
Unless you would like a golden
presentation.
tickle.
No. There's
Oh,
no
man.
golden tickling. There's no
That's
tickling at all.
a special tier on Patreon, guys.
And without
branching
further
out.
ado, our winner is.
Tell me when to stop.
Yeah, please. I'm tired of drum rolling here.
Please stop.
Is Ghoul.
Yay!
Congratulations, Is Ghoul.
I want a golden
You're still
tickle.
here with us in the chat. You've won a copy of Yoda Dark Rendezvous. And if you'll DM me on Discord if you're there, we'll get a copy out to you. That does it for this week. Thank you for joining us for Legends Look Back. Thanks to our incredible patrons for your support. Special thank you to Michael Fry, Brian Dooley, Earl Q, Carl Sander, and Zach W. on our Jedi High Council, and James T, Ashley Ingalls, and Chris Carrizo on our Alliance High Command for their amazing support. Remember to sub to this channel, leave us a review in your podcast platform of choice. If you're watching on YouTube, click that little like button. And if you did that, and you just want to click some more buttons, you can click subscribe, which helps as well. If you want your thoughts read on the show, you can comment, of course, here in the YouTube channel. You can also find our contact information, all the Twitter handles, all that good stuff in the description below. We're on Twitter at Legends Look Back. Remember to keep the Utini fan code and be a force for positivity in the fandom. May the force be with you.